Come closer, friend. The night is thick and the wind has a bite to it, but our fire is warm, and the woods, for now, keep their distance. Take a seat. There's room enough for one more. Out here beneath these ancient trees, stories cling to the shadows like mist. Some are meant to be warnings. Some are just meant to keep you company till dawn. Out here in these deep woods, the fire's your only friend. But when the flames sink low and the silence grows heavy, that's when you'll see them. One camper thought he was safe in his little circle of light, but the night had other plans. So lean close to the fire, my friend, and listen, because if you're brave enough to hear this tale, you might just think twice before ever camping alone again. Come closer to the fire. Aye, that's better. Let it warm your face. Let it push back the night, just a wee bit. Out here, the dark's thicker than anywhere else. And when the flames start to sink, when the light's not as strong as it once was, that's when things have a way of showing themselves. I'll tell you about one such night. There was a lone camper, not far from where we sit now. He fancied himself a bit of an adventurer. Thought the night under the stars, with no one about, would be something to brag about later. He carried his little tent, his sleeping bag, a small pack of food, and thought himself ready. He found a clearing, a patch where the trees bent back enough to see the sky. The ground was damp, soft with moss, the kind that smells strong after a day of rain. He struck a fire, watched the smoke twist up into the branches. The crackle of wood gave him comfort, a steady heartbeat in a place that had none. He ate. He stretched out by the flames. The forest around him seemed calm, as though it had accepted him for the night. No sound but the wind brushing through the pine needles. No company but the glow of the fire. But you'll learn this. The woods are never truly still. When it goes quiet, when the silence is heavy, it's not peace you're hearing. It's a warning. And that's what woke him. He stirred in his sleep, blinking at the faint glow of the fire. The embers were low now, their light weak, their warmth fading. The night pressed in close, thick and black, swallowing the clearing. Something was wrong. He couldn't hear a thing, no rustle, no chirp, no cry of the owl he'd heard earlier. It was as though the forest was holding his breath. And then he saw it. Across the fire, just at the edge of the light, there stood a figure. Tall, too tall. Its head nearly touched the low branches above. It didn't move, didn't sway with the breeze. Just stood, as though it had always been there. The camper rubbed at his eyes, sat upright, told himself it was the fire playing tricks. Shapes in the dark, that's all. But the fire spat, sparks jumped, and for just a heartbeat, the flames stretched further. And what he saw in that brief light, arms that hung too low, near brushing the ground, a shape that was darker than any shadow around it, and where a face should have been, nothing. Just a hollow blackness, deep and empty. He froze, heart hammering. He dared not move, dared not breathe too loud. The fire hissed low, the circle of safety shrinking. With each flicker, each shift of light, that shape looked closer. The air turned colder. A draft wound its way through the clearing, carrying the smell of damp earth sharp and sour, like soil freshly turned, like something pulled from beneath the ground. He thought about running, just grabbing his pack, bolting into the trees. But where would he go? The dark was endless. The path back to the road was gone, swallowed by the forest. To step away from the fire was to step into the same black that held this thing. So he just stayed, eyes locked on the fire, waiting, watching. But the thing, it didn't move. Not once. Just stood, patient. And that was somehow worse. His hands shook as he reached for the fire. He pulled a half-burnt stick, tried to stir life back into the flames. The damp wood only hissed, spitting smoke. The glow flared a little, but not enough. The fire was too far gone. Through the smoke, the figure tilted. Not forward, not back, just sideways. At an angle no body should hold. As though it were leaning closer, listening. The camper's skin prickled. The feeling wasn't just that he was being watched. No, it was worse. It was as though his very thoughts were no longer his own. Like something else was already inside his head, listening, hungry. Then came the sound. A crackle in the leaves. Soft, steady footsteps. His breath caught sharp in his throat. The figure hadn't moved, not a single inch. Yet the sound came again. Another footstep, then another, circling. He spun left, staring into the dark. Nothing. Spun right, still nothing, but the sound was clear. Twigs snapping, leaves pressed down under weight. He thought, maybe it's an animal, a deer, a fox. But no, this was different. Too slow, too deliberate. And then, behind him, a branch snapped, loud. He spun, heart hammering, eyes straining into the dark. Nothing. When he turned back toward the fire, the figure was gone. Relief rushed through him. His breath came hard, quick, almost a laugh. He shook his head, convinced he'd just let fear get the better of him. Shapes in the dark, tired eyes, that's all. But the fire was nearly dead now. Just glowing embers, weak and red. The dark closed in tight, pressing close on all sides. He bent low, desperate, striking flint against steel. A spark jumped, lit the clearing for a blink. And then, that's when he saw it. Not out in the trees, not across the fire, but crouched right beside him. Its limbs folded wrong, bent like broken branches, its head cocked too near, as if it were curious. The smell hit him first, thick and foul, the stink of wet soil and rot, as though it had been pulled straight out of a grave. And then, worse, came the breath. Cold, damp, brushing against his cheek, as though it leaned in close. The spark died. Darkness swallowed everything. And the scream he meant to give never came. The forest kept its silence. That's how it goes, my friend. Out here, folk vanish without a sound. No tracks, no cries. Just gone. So if you ever find yourself alone, fire burning low, silence pressing heavy all around, remember this story. Because shadows don't need to move to be watching. They wait, patient, hungry, Keep your fire fed. Keep it burning bright. And whatever you do, don't trust the silence. Because when the woods fall quiet, you're not alone.